Tonight's story is, I found an old journal in my attic. Here's what was inside. So a couple of weeks ago, my wife and I were cleaning the house out. It's the cold season, and that annual winter depression was setting in, so we wanted to make the house feel more warm-like. I think that's the phrase my wife said. I wasn't going to complain. It gave an excuse to clean the house up from the holidays a few months ago. When I went to the attic to bring down some of the boxes to sort through, I must have hit something with it, 'cause this old dusty book comes falling down from the rafters right onto my head. Didn't hurt, besides the dust that definitely went into my nose and mouth. Now when I tell you this book is old, it's old. It's got this leather bound on it that feels like you're touching the real stuff, not that cheap grade bullshit from Amazon. The pages look worse for wear, but I was able to read what was on them pretty decently. My wife and I checked the first few pages and figured out it must have been someone's journal. It's got all kinds of dates and drawings inside of it. We didn't really know what to do with it, but then my friend suggested the internet. So that's where we are now. I spent the last 4 hours typing out what the journal says and describing the drawings best I can for you all to read. If anyone has any ideas or suggestions on what to do with it, please let me know. June 16th, 1847. I found this book tucked under Father's things in his closet. He said I could keep it and use it as a journal for me to remember things. This will be my first writing. June 18th, 1847. Not much has happened since I got my book. Sarah says she wants one of her own, but she's too young to write like me. I told her she could watch me write when I do. She seemed happy about that. June 26th, 1847. Father says we have to be careful this season with the crops and animals. He's not sure how winter is going to look, but he thinks it's going to be bad. I asked him why it matters if it's so far away. He just looked at me and said it always matters. I'm not sure what that means. July 5th, 1847. Sarah said she saw a man by the edge of the farm while she was playing. Me and Father checked all along the fence but didn't see no one. Mother says it's 'cause she's young and must have just been seeing things. I drew the man like Sarah said he was. The picture shows a fairly normal-sized person, but the face isn't right. He drew the eyes almost too far apart, and the hairline is very far back. July 6th, 1847. Father's friends came by the house today and brought his son John with him. We played by the farm while Sarah followed us. Sarah asked John if he had seen the man by the woods as well. John looked confused, and we went back to playing. July 10th, 1847. I keep hearing things outside. I can't sleep and I don't want to wake up Mother or Father. I think I'll just stay up and read. July 14th, 1847. Father had to put down one of the cows. He said she got sick and he doesn't want the rest to get like her. She didn't seem sick to me, but she didn't seem healthy either. I guess he knows better. July 15th, 1847. Mother is keeping me and Sarah in the house while Father checks the cows. He was running out of the house and yelling. I heard him say, "How the hell is that cow back?" I went to my room and looked out the window. I don't think it looks like our cow. It doesn't look like a cow at all. He drew a cow, but he didn't shade in any spots. There were no horns or udders on it either. The ears he made look too small and the face is more flat than a cow's. It almost looks like a human's face. July 20th, 1847. Father's friend came back today. He seemed tired. I asked him if John came with him and he said John wouldn't be coming anymore. I asked why and he said John went missing. I heard Sarah say that the man by the woods took him. I hope that's not true. I don't think that man is nice. July 23rd, 1847. I went to town with Father today. We picked up some chicken feed and some seeds for the fields. On the way back to the house, I saw these two people standing along the road. They didn't look right. I asked Father what was wrong with them, and he said, "They just not from here." He said they must be Irish. I don't think Eve ever met an Irish person before. July 26th, 1847. Something's wrong with the cows. They keep mooing and screaming all night. I watched Father with his lantern out the window as he wanted to check. They were all looking at the woods. Father says he's gonna see if someone can help them. I hope they okay. July 27th, 1847. I think I saw the man by the woods. I was helping fix the fence when I heard the trees moving nearby. I looked up and saw this person standing by one a little ways away. He just looked at me and I looked back. Father called me and I answered him. When I looked back, the man was gone. He kind of looked like those Irish people I saw by town. I hope that's not who Sarah saw. He looked weird. He drew a more detailed picture of the man from before. He seems to be wearing a button-down with some kind of overalls. His face is very odd. The eyes are far apart but not level with each other. He didn't seem to draw a nose or ears. The hair was very far back on the man's head, it seems. He just gave him a straight line for a mouth. July 30th, 1847. Someone came by for the cows. He said they must be spooked by something in the woods. He suggested we move them somewhere else, but Father's not sure about that. I don't think it would matter where we move them. I think they'll still be scared. August 4th, 1847. 2 of the cows went missing last night. Father's not sure what happened. The fence isn't broken and there wasn't any blood on the ground. Me and Sarah were in the front of the house when she told me what happened to them. She said they stood up and walked away. I asked how if the fence is too tall. She said they stood on their back legs and walked over it. I told her she's acting silly and she started getting mad and told me she wasn't lying. I hope she is. August 10th, 1847. We found the 2 cows. They were dead in the woods by the fence. Looked like they were making their way back from the woods. They had teeth marks all over their bodies. They also looked like the cow Father put down a few weeks ago. I think one looked at me before it passed. It had very human eyes. Father didn't say anything about that, but I think he noticed. He drew another much more detailed picture of the cow. It again has no defining cow traits besides the shape of it. The ears are very small and almost pointed upwards. The face is very human-like. The snout is pushed in with human-like lips under the nose. The eyes are more smaller and, like he said, are human-like. He also drew the teeth marks on the bodies, and they look like human teeth. August 1847. Mother told me to not let Sarah near the woods anymore. She told me she saw a shape walking along the fence while Sarah was in the garden. I asked what the shape was, and she said it looked like a person. I'm gonna pray tonight. I think we need someone to watch us. August 14th, 1847. The cows are screaming again. I looked out the window and squinted to see anything. It was too dark, but I have a feeling something's out there with them. I hope they're okay. August 18th, 1847. Saw more of those Irish people by town. They just stood along the road heading in and were they again when we left. I wonder if they can't find any place to stay. They should try going west like everyone else is. Might be better that way. I think one of them looked a little like John. I'm not sure though. August 24th, 1847. Sarah's gone. Father saw the back down open this morning and she wasn't in bed. You've been look all around the woods near our farm and I can't find anything. Father's just been sitting on the porch and Mother won't leave her room. I think the man in the woods got her. If he did, I don't know if she'll come back. I hope she does. It's lonely without her. August 26th, 1847. You've been doing most of the farm work myself now. Father helps a bit, but he just looks tired. Mother hasn't left her room besides to get food or water. I noticed another cow went missing, same way as the other two. I told Father, and he said it must be some kind of punishment from God. I wonder if the cow also walked on his two legs like Sarah said. I miss her. August 30th, 1847, Sarah is home. She was sitting on the back step this morning when Father went to look outside. She was all kinds of dirty and cut up, but she seemed fine. Mother has been in tears all morning and Father is back to his normal routine. I asked Sarah where she went and what happened. She just looked at me and said, "He showed me something." I'm not sure what that means, but I'm glad she's okay. September 2nd, 1847. I think something's wrong with Sarah. She keeps looking outside at night and staring at the cows. She makes this weird breathing sound when she does. I asked her this morning what was wrong and she said it was nothing. Mother said that just what young girls do. I feel like something not right about her face. Her eyes look a little off. September 3rd, 1847. I don't think that's Sarah. She's not acting right. She keeps saying these things that don't make sense and she keeps looking off. I don't know if Mother or Father notice it. Eyes aren't right anymore and her head looks longer. Father slapped me when I raised my voice about it at lunch and sent me upstairs. Sarah's just been watching me write for a while now. She seems more interested than before, like she's trying to learn how to be more like her old self, or trying to learn how to be her real self. I'm scared. That is all I was able to make out today. Like I said, the pages are very worse for wear, and I really don't want to ruin them, so I'm taking these nice and slow. When I'm able to get some more of the entries typed out, I'll post them here for you all to read. Again, if you have any tips about this or suggestions, let me know. Thank you. Part 2. So after work today, I sat down and started to get a few more of those entries figured out. My wife was also looking over them while she was home, and she asked if we should really be reading this stuff. I asked what she meant, and she said something along the lines of respecting the privacy of those long past. While yes, I agree with her, I also am very interested in finding out what actually happened to whoever wrote these down. I told her that if she likes, I'll continue to do the entries, and she cannot have to worry about it. I didn't tell this to her, but for some reason, while I was at work, I got this strange sense of déjà vu. It was at lunchtime, and I looked out the window of the cafeteria, and I saw this guy sitting on one of the benches outside staring at me. I don't know what it was about him, but his face reminded a little of the drawings the writer made in the journal. Found it kinda weird and spooky. But anyway, here are some more of the entries I got figured out. September 7th, 1847. Father is taking Sarah into town to see the doctor. Everyone woke up to the chickens going crazy in the coop. I saw Sarah wasn't in her bed while I was hurrying down the stairs to help Father. By the time I got to him, he was already holding her tight and walking back to the house. All I could see was the blood and feathers in the coop as the lantern's light was carried off with Sarah by my father. I hope the doctor can say that's wrong with her. September 8th, 1847. The doctor recommended taking Sarah to a special place for people like her. He said, something's not right with her head. I don't know if he meant her brain or her face. Mother and Father still haven't noticed how different she looks since she came back from the woods. Maybe they do notice and just don't want to say anything about it. I think it's good she's going somewhere like the doctor says. Maybe they can make her normal again. September 17th, 1847. It's been a few days since Sarah's been at the special place. I found out it's called a hospital of some kind. I can't remember the full name. Father seems like his normal self, and Mother isn't as upset as she was when Sarah went missing. I miss her, but it's better like this. September 19th, 1847, me and Father moved the cows closer near the house. 2 went missing a few nights ago, and this morning we found half of one's head by the fence line. Father's gonna see about buying some more next spring. Hopefully they stay safe once it gets cold. Maybe whatever it is that's out there won't like the cold. He drew what looks like half of the cow's head. I can confirm it looks how you think it would. The skull area is hollowed out, and whatever blood there should be isn't drawn here. I'm not sure if that was the case for the writer. September 20th, 1847. I'm scared. Something's at my window. I can't see it, but I hear it. It sounds like what Sarah was doing when she came back from the woods. I don't want to turn on a lamp. I don't want to see it. It's the morning and I could see handprints on my window. I knew something was there. I'm gonna tell Father. Maybe he can do something. I'm not sure I want to sleep in my room anymore. He drew what I believe is his window. He also drew the handprints that were mentioned. The fingers on them look odd. Some longer and some shorter than others. I'm not sure if this was intentional or a mistake. September 22nd, 1847. Father said he's not sure what could have been at my window. I showed him the handprints, and he wasn't sure how they got up to it without help. I think they may have been more things outside than just the one. I'm moving my stuff to a room closer to his and Mother's. When Sarah's back from the hospital, I'll move back in with her. September 23rd, 1847. We got some more chicken. Father's friend is selling his farm and gave us his. He said he doesn't like being alone by himself on the farm at night, so he's heading west with a group from town. I asked him if it was those weird-looking Irish fellas I kept seeing. His eyes got big when I said that, and Mother told me to go upstairs. I could hear him crying downstairs from the steps. I hope he finds what he needs out west. October 1st, 1847. We started getting ready for winter today. I still don't think it's gonna be bad, but Father says it will be. Mother says Sarah should be home by Thanksgiving. I'm not sure when we do that, so I guess it will be a surprise. I can't wait. October 3rd, 1847. Something messed with the fence last night. Father found some of the posts pulled up out of their holes. I was helping him put them back in, and I noticed some stuff by the trees nearby. It looked like tools. October 6th, 1847. Father's thinking about hiring some help around the farm to get ready for winter. It's hard with just the 2 of us. He said he's gonna head into town and ask around. He asked if I wanted to come, but I said no. I have a feeling those weird fellas are gonna be there, and I don't want to see them. October 7th, 1847. 3 of the cows are gone. We found a 4th one walking around the field by the fence line. She was mooing and huffing while staring at the trees. I could have sworn I saw something move behind the trees when I looked. October 8th, 1847. Mother and Father are going to the hospital to check on Sarah. I'm staying home to keep working on getting stuff ready for winter and to keep the farm safe. Father told me where the gun is in case I need it. I hope I don't. I hear something walking by the back door. It sounds like it's talking or making some kind of noise. I can see its face. It's peeking by the window. It don't look right. He drew what looks like a square, so I'm assuming it's a window. He then drew a head poking by the side. The eyes look like they drawn on the forehead of the person. They far apart, and there's a lot of black shading around them. October 9th, 1847. I didn't sleep. That thing kept staring through the window. I was going to go upstairs, but I could have sworn I heard something move in my room. I checked this morning and my window was open. There's more than one. I'm glad Mother and Father come back today. October 13th, 1847. Father found someone to help around the farm. His name's Samuel. He's a darker fella. He sounds a bit weird when he talks, but Father says that's just 'cause he's from another country. He seems nice. October 14th, 1847. Samuel asked if I noticed strange things around the woods. I mentioned the cows and odd fellas if seen before, and he says he thinks he saw one of them. Said he looked off, and that part of his face wasn't sitting right. I asked him if he was scared, but he said no. Said he used to be told stories about strange things like that from his home, but that he would keep the farm and us safe. I'm gonna say a pray for Samuel tonight. He's a good man. October 19th, 1847. One of those guys were standing in the field tonight. He had a lantern. I think it was the man I saw when I was home by myself. He's just looking at my window. He drew the man. He is wearing what looks like almost a suit from what I can see. The eyes are very high up and very sunken in. The man's smile is wide and unnerving to look at even in drawing form. I can't imagine what it must have been like to see in real time. October 21st, 1847, Samuel was feeding the cows when he noticed one of them was laying down. He called Father over and they both just stared at the cow. They told me to head inside, and I watched from the window. I see them taking her out of the hold, and they hiding her face. I think she was sick like the others months ago. October 25th, 1847. Ran into town with Samuel. We picked up some food for us and feed for the chickens. Those Irish fellas weren't there anymore. I told Samuel about them and he mentioned having seen them before. Told me they kinda seemed off. He did tell me that they aren't Irish from what he knows. So I guess I still don't know what an Irish person looks like. October 27th, 1847. We got news from the hospital about Sarah. They said she's been acting strange and that they're not sure if she can come home yet. Mother is upset, but I think it's better this way. I hope she can get help to be herself. October 30th, 1847. Something happened to Samuel. Father and me were fixing up the chicken coop and heard Samuel yell over by the cows. We ran over and it was so messy. A lot of blood on him and one of the cows. Father helped him up and he just had this look on his face. The cow looked off. Something about it looked like it knew what it did. October 31st, 1847. Samuel is up and down at the doctor's. They said he's worse than it looked, and they're not sure when he will be up again. Father put the cow down, 'cause it was trying to hurt the other ones after a weekend back home. I don't know what's happening, but I don't think it's gonna get better. I see something in the field. It looks like the cow. It's walking around and making weird movements. It's like what Sarah said. He on his back legs. I don't know how it's not falling over. It's looking at the window now. Its face looks like Samuel's. I want to pray, but I don't want to stop looking. I'm afraid it will know that it can move closer to the house. He drew the cow. It's standing straight up. Its hind legs are extremely skinny and he seemed to draw arrows pointed at them. The face of the cow is very human-like. It's very unsettling to see and I'm not really sure if I should even been looking at it. That's all the entries I'm going to be able to do tonight. After seeing that drawing, I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable. Now after doing these, it's got me thinking about that guy I saw earlier. He looked so much like what the writer described and drew in here. Maybe my wife was right about reading these, but you guys let me know. I'll try and muster up the courage to get some more typed up when I can. Thank you. Part 3. Wanna start off by saying sorry that it's taken me so long to post more entries. I've had some problems around home. I should have listened to my wife. I know that now. I'm honestly not sure where to start, but let me tell you what's been going on with me before the entires. There only seems to be a few left. The writer has done more longer ones near the end, so I'll see how many I can fit in this post for you. But on to my predicament. So after I posted the last part, I headed to the kitchen to grab some water. I was filling my cup when I noticed our motion sensor lights in the backyard went off. I looked out the window by the sink and couldn't see a thing until I noticed what looked like a figure by our back fence. I figured it was just the trick of the light and went to the back door to get a better look. Soon as I turned the doorknob, the figure turned towards the fence and climbed over it. Now when I say climbed, I mean like spider climbed. Freakiest shit I have ever seen. I didn't even know what to do. I just stood at the door for like 20 minutes after I saw it. Told my wife we needed more lights in the backyard the next morning because of raccoons. I couldn't bear to put the idea in her head that we have whatever that thing is sneaking around outside our house. And it wasn't just that one time. You've seen a lot more people standing outside our house during the day too. They all have this weird look on their faces. I don't want to say it, but they look like what the writer described in the journal. Slightly off. I swear once I'm done with this journal, I'm tossing it. But for now, here's some of the last entries. Enjoy November 1st, 1847. I fell asleep last night, and when I woke up the cow was gone. I heard Father talking with Mother about getting rid of the cows once spring comes around. He said it's gonna cost more to keep replacing and putting them down at this rate than to just sell them off for meat. I think it would be a good idea. I don't know what's been going on, but I think it has to do with the people in the woods. They did something to the cows, and I know they did something to Sarah. I'm afraid what's gonna happen. November 3rd, 1847, Father had a man over to look at the cows. I didn't hear what he offered, but Father seems happy about it. Said he can take them once the weather gets warmer. That means we have to keep them for a while longer. November 5th, 1847, something got into the chickens last night. We found the fence ripped up and feathers all over the ground. Father was sad and started to clean up while I went to check the rest of the farm. I saw a line of blood heading towards the woods. I know one of them did it. November 7th, 1847, Samuel is doing better. Me and Father visited him in town today. The doctor didn't let us stay long, said he needed more rest. I hope he's able to come back to the farm soon. November 9th, 1847, they're getting closer to the house. I saw one of them standing just out of the light from the house last night. Its arm looked long, like it was dragging them along the ground. I'm gonna start keeping a lantern lit by my window at night. I think that's what keeps them away. If they think someone is awake, they won't touch the house, just to stand near it. He drew just the outline of the figure. The arms extend and seem to bend at the elbow once it hits the ground. The rest of the arms seem to be almost as long as the figure's legs in the drawing. November 10th, 1847, Mother is sick. Father brought the doctor from town to check on her. He said she just needs rest. She's sleeping in bed, and Father said he'll stay downstairs. I don't know if that's good for him. I have to keep the lantern lit for Father. I don't want them to get close. November 15th, 1847. One of them things was by the fence today. I was fixing up some of the wood by it when I heard some noise by the trees. Looked up and it was standing down along the fence line a few patches near me. It looked like a woman. I haven't seen one like that yet. Its mouth was long, almost like a horse. Its legs bent back a bit by the knee. It must have saw me because it turned its head towards me and walked backwards into the woods. He drew from a side view the woman. The bottom of her chin is extended down to about the middle of her chest. The legs are drawn like a horse's, bent right at the knee inwards. Besides that, she looks like a normal woman. November 18th, 1847. Something was talking outside last night. Father must have been asleep, but I heard it. It sounded like a person, but wrong. Like it was trying to sound normal. It reminded me of Sarah when she made those noises at night. It can't get the words or the sound right, so it keeps trying. That's what she was doing all that time. Was I right? Is that not Sarah in the hospital? If it isn't, then where is she? I can't tell Mother or Father. I have to keep this a secret. I have to find something to show them. They won't believe just words. I think I'll look in the woods tomorrow. November 21st, 1847. I went looking every day. I found a lot, but it was deep in the woods. I told Father I was going to go head to the lake nearby for some stones. Told him Mother would like them. I didn't find nothing till I was well in there. Couldn't see the house by the time I did. It was like a hole of some kind, right by the bottom of this big tree. I picked up a stick and shoved it in there. I felt something on the other end. It was soft, really soft. Pulled the stick out and it had some cloth on the end. Looked like something Mother would wear. I reached in with my hand and felt more cloth. I pulled out a big pile of them. All kinds of clothes was in there. Shirts, pants, socks. I found some nightgowns and the outside of a teddy bear. I kept reaching in and pulling more out. I got a shoe after a while. It was hers, Sarah. It had her little silver buckle. I sat there for a bit after I got it. I was right. But now I know she's gone. I wasn't able to keep Sarah safe. Those things got her and did something to her. And one of them is pretending to be her. I don't know what to do. November 26th, 1847. I can hear the cows tonight. It sounds like they're talking. They're getting better at it now. That's all the entries I was able to get down. Like I said, this last week has been a mess around home. It's getting worse now, though. I keep seeing those people everywhere I go, work, the store, and outside our house. They just stand and look at me. Not to mention one of them keeps getting into our backyard. I think I can get one more post out of this journal from the look of it. I'll try and get it done quick, so hopefully it won't be as long a wait as this one. And I'll keep you all updated on the things outside. Thanks. Part 4. Okay, where do I start? First, I'm sorry. I thought I would be able to get these posted sooner, but I guess fate had other ideas. Like I said before, there's not a lot of entries left, so let me quickly tell you what's been keeping me from this. So once I got the last post up, I immediately started to work on these new entries. I was about 2 days into them when those things that have been outside started to get closer to my house. My wife was calling me during the day and complaining of these people standing outside our house just staring at it. I didn't know what to tell her. I mean, where would I even start? Sorry, babe. Those are just creatures that are stalking us because I'm reading a book that has them in it. She probably would have left me immediately if I did. I would always come home early when she called me, and there they were, standing on our sidewalk staring at the house. That's as close as they would get for a while, but that changed last night. My wife left town for a girls' trip, and I was lucky enough to be home by myself when this happened. I was in the living room trying to get back into the entries when I heard a knock on the door. Keep in mind it was like 9 p.m., so I was rightfully suspicious. I checked our doorbell camera and guess who was on my front step. One of those things, except This time it was like it wasn't even trying to hide what it was. Its face was so saggy and its arms were just hanging of its body. I could see its skin pulling so much, I was sure it was going to rip. I just stared at my phone, looking at it. It knocked again and again, each time getting more aggressive. I kept looking at it before I heard another knock, but this time it was from the back door. I looked up from my phone and stared at the back door before I heard the knock at the front again. Back and forth, they kept switching who was knocking. They got more and more aggressive too. I picked up the journal from the couch and headed upstairs to my room. Before I could close our bedroom door, I heard something slam hard downstairs. I looked at the camera again, and the thing was gone. Then I heard the footsteps downstairs. That thing had got into my house, broke my door down, and was looking for me. I slowly closed my bedroom door, putting anything I could find in front of it. All night I just heard slamming and crashing from outside my door. I called the police not long after, but by the time they got here, those things were gone. Everything was ransacked, like they were looking for something. I left my house and now I'm in a hotel. Called my wife and told her someone broke in and did not go home after her trip. Only good thing about all this is that I haven't been able to sleep, so I finally got the entries done once I got to the hotel. So here they are, everyone, the last entries. December 3rd, 1847, 4 of the cows went missing over the past few days. Father doesn't know what to do. You've heard him praying more and more. I told him we should make the fences higher, and he just looked at me weird. He wouldn't believe me if I told him what I knew. December 5th, 1847, Sarah is coming home in the next few days. The doctors told us she is much better, but I know it's all a show from that thing. I told Mother and Father that I'll sleep in the spare room so Sarah can have some room for herself. The truth is I don't want to be near that thing while I'm alone. I still don't know what it can do or what it even wants. December 9th. She's home now. It feels wrong to call it by her name, but I can't let Mother or Father know. The thing looks exactly like her, not like last time. It's gotten better at holding her face. It keeps giving me weird looks like it knows I know what it really is. December 12th, 1847. I keep finding windows open late at night. The cold comes inside and wakes me up. It's trying to let them inside. Last night I was closing one of them upstairs and I heard something downstairs. I ran down and I think I saw a leg go back outside through it. It was long. The rider drew what looks like the window from afar. There seems to be a leg extending out of the open window. It's almost larger than the window itself. December 14th, 1847. I'm going to sleep downstairs tonight. Maybe that thing won't do anything if it knows I'm awake. I'm going to keep a lantern next to me. I woke up from the cold. The back door is open. I can't get up and close it. Something is standing right outside it. I can see it looking at me. It's just staring at me. The rider drew the door he mentioned. He shaded the inside of it and drew a large, dark figure. The figure is long and skinny from what the drawing looks like. December 15th, 1847. I couldn't sleep again after last night. That thing stood there all night. It left right as the sun came up. Sarah, or the thing, came downstairs not long after it left. It just stared at me, not saying anything. It knows I know, I'm sure of it. I have to stop it, I have to kill it, before it hurts Mother and Father. December 17th, 1847. I've been thinking of ways to do it. Mother and Father both see it as Sarah still. I have to find a way to kill it, without them finding out I did it and without them knowing it's not her anymore. I don't think they could handle it. December 18th, 1847. That thing keeps looking at me when I'm writing. I try and talk with it, but it just looks at me. I think it's following me as well. Sometimes I'll turn around and I'll see it slide behind a corner of the house. December 19th. The thing has been sitting by the fireplace a lot more as it gets colder. I don't think it likes the cold. Maybe it can't live in the cold. I think I know what to do. January 6th, 1848. A lot has happened. I have to find the right words for it all. I figured out what I had to do and I knew how to do it. Late one night I woke up and that thing was staring at me from the hall. I stared back and tried talking to it. I asked what it wanted, what it did with Sarah, and what it was going to do with us. It just stared at me. I got up from my bed and walked past it to go downstairs. It followed me the entire time. It had followed me all the way outside as well. The snow was really bad that night. The lantern was the only light I had, but I could hear it follow me. I got all the way to the barn before I heard it speak to me. Its voice was hard to understand, but I made out a few words. It said we were next. I thought of Sarah in that moment. I thought of how I couldn't save her. I thought of how this thing killed her. I placed my lantern on the ground and picked up the axe we had in the barn. The thing just kept staring at me, like it thought I wasn't going to do it. I just kept swinging and swinging at it. Even after it fell to the ground and stopped moving, I kept swinging. The hay in the barn was covered in some black liquid. I cleaned up the best I could, covered what I couldn't with some more hay. I picked up the body and walked it outside. I could see shadows past the fence. The others were watching us. They just stared at me, holding one of their own. I watched as they all slowly walked back into the woods. I took the body to the fence line and laid it there while I went and got a shovel. When I came back, it was gone. I don't know if they took it back or if it got up on its own, but I didn't care at that point. Mother and Father looked all over the farm the next few days after that night. I had to pretend to be sad and worried like they were. We didn't stay in that house much longer after. Father decided to move us out west, to find a new place to call home. We needed to find a new place to start again. I think Samuel might have bought up the farm after we left, but I'm not too sure. Been trying not to think about that place anymore. Been trying to just remember Sarah. I hope wherever we go it will be better. I hope wherever Sarah went is better than here. There it is, everyone. My wife called a few minutes ago to let me know she's on her way to the hotel, so that's one less thing to worry about. Thank you all for reading, and now that I'm done, I can finally get rid of this journal. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but whatever I do, I hope this thing stops bothering me. But really, thank you all again. Reading.